Here is a video full of clips of a house that Mrs. C and I have looked at over the last 3 weeks now, trying to decide whether or not we want to buy it or even put an offer in. I got some footage here on the iPad, footage of a house that Mrs. C and I are looking at. It's kind of a panoramic view of what it looks like. It's a house out in the country. It sits on 20 acres, about 21 years old, cedar sided, metal roof. Has a lot of things that we've always liked in a house, especially a house in the country. Price is a little steep though. Asking close to $250 for the house in 20 acres. But the only other building that goes with it is a small, well, I'll show you, shop style building here. With its own little porch. This would be the front of the house. So, given that I have this footage, I've been meaning to talk about it for some time and not sure exactly how to go about talking about it. Given that Mrs. C and I both are getting close to retirement age. Last thing we want to do is rack up a lot of debt or a high mortgage payment. So even though we really like the place, it is minus a place where all of the stuff in here, all the stuff, there's not really a place for it. That small building would house maybe my workbench and air compressor and some tools, my toolbox. But then where do we put the lawnmower and the freezer and various other things? Now, a lot of this stuff will be able to fit in the house until at such time we might be able to build a garage or a pole barn or something of that nature. But that costs money. So the cost of entry, will that preclude our ability to build another building or to maybe purchase another small building like that shed there to put the mower in and yard equipment and that sort of thing, stuff you don't necessarily want to have in the house. I don't mind parking the vehicles out in the open. That's fine. We have for years till we moved to this place, but I would like to have a place to house everything that's in the garage, and then in the attic too we got quite a bit of stuff. So you get older, you accumulate stuff. And if you don't move very often, you tend not to weed it out. You just keep accumulating more stuff. And although we've been married, it'll be 38 years this year. Yeah, 38 years in September. This is the longest we've ever lived in one place, and we've been here now for about 13 years almost. So we've managed to acquire quite a bit of stuff in these little nooks and crannies all over the house, and you never know what you got till you get ready to move and you go, holy crap, how do we have all this stuff in the house? I still don't know how that I want to address this footage. There's some pretty decent footage of the house outside. We didn't take any video of it inside. We felt like we were being rushed a little bit by the real estate agent. She seemed to be rushed. She was perfectly willing to lock the place up and let us prowl around the exterior of the house after she left, but it was kind of like, let's go in, take a quick look and go, because I got another appointment or something. I don't know what her deal was, but she didn't seem to be too enthused about selling the property for some reason. And it's been on the market for well over a year. So a lot of these things are kind of working in our favor if we wanted to make a low bid. But I don't want to insult the seller. This house, especially on the inside, is move-in ready. with a little cleanup, but it was originally built as a weekend getaway for the owners. And now that their kids are all grown up and out of the house, they don't really use it as a weekend getaway. And given that it's a weekend getaway, the kitchen is not, it's very sterile and sparse as far as cabinetry goes. And the finishes and the fixtures and things like that on the inside, probably below construction grade. They're not very good because it wasn't designed or built to be a full-time permanent dwelling. So it needs a lot of work inside to really bring it up to make it a comfortable home to live in day after day. And with the lack of a garage or a barn, it lacks storage space for garage stuff. But it does have 20 acres and a lot of timber. Uh, with a chainsaw and about 2 years worth of motivation, one might be able to log enough timber off there to build a building, maybe a 10 by 12 or 5 by 5. But boy, that makes for some interesting videos, wouldn't it? I was thinking of coming out here and trying to watch these little clips and narrate them and then combine all this together and try to make some cohesive sense out of all this. But I don't think that's going to be very possible. I've already confused myself beyond the ability to get back around to where I wanted to start this whole thing. So I think I'll just let the clips speak for themselves. Bouncy, bouncy. Man, jittery camera shot. And some of the crap that I talked about earlier, try to edit that into this so that maybe it'll make some sense. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, give it a thumbs up. And thank you for watching, and please tune in again.